Welcome to the Daily Podcast. My name is Michelle Sinclair. I am a divine healer. I help to heal people from physical ailments, diseases, emotional trauma, things like this, because of the enlightenment that I had. And the enlightenment came to me from studying the Christ letters. So we are going to start today by reading out of the Christ letters here. This was several years ago that happened, by the way. So when you walk Christ's way, you must always examine your mindset before you sleep, to discover what fears you are harboring. When you've discovered whether you have any and what they are, you must remind yourself that just as your imagination placed boogeymen under your bed when you were a child, so do you, as an adult, imagine catastrophes that need never happen. And please note, when I say need never happen, I'm not saying may never happen. And I say this because no matter what your problems may be, they remain only in your mind as problems until you've given them enough mind power to manifest themselves as apparent realities in your life. Problems may become grave possibilities according to the way your affairs stand at the moment. For instance, you might be headed for dismissal from work, and you may be so short of money that you do not know how to manage your next week. Or your child may be falling behind in school or facing expulsion. Whatever the problem, it does not become a true problem until it manifests as a reality in your life. And in the meanwhile, they can remain maybes for the future, but are already making you cringe and walk around with a heavy heart. But even if the fears should manifest as apparent realities in the future, even on the very brink of disaster, things can change. People in the world who constantly worry usually feel that nothing good is sure or reliable, yet the very opposite is true. Oh, you dear, dear people, if you could only lift your consciousness high above the world, and if you could only be taken behind the scenes of visible matter to the unseen dimension of spiritual creativity where everything truly begins to come into being, you could then see for yourselves that the source of your being, your only source of spiritual unconditional love, has put in place everything to fulfill your every need. But you, because you don't understand the reality behind existence, create your own lack and limitations, sickness and disaster. You create them with your criticism, complaining, being grudging in praise of others' achievements, grudging in affection to all the people around you, grudging in generosity to those who are experiencing poverty. Now, when you have lifted yourself into the spiritual heights of truth and awareness, and you understand how it truly works, not only will all those things be cleansed from your mind, as it will have taken them being cleansed from your mind to get to that place, but you will then, with every ounce of your being, seek and want to teach and share with others the reality, because you will look around and you will see people suffering, and you will know that it does not need to be this way. You will know that suffering has come from the mind and the mouth and has been created through the fears that you hold within yourselves. And you will know that the divine love is more powerful than any of this, but it is the belief in that negative, fear-based frequency that makes itself made manifest in your life. And once you have gained the enlightenment, which will come to you if you are seeking it earnestly, it will come. Once the enlightenment comes and you see and you clearly and fully get it, there will be nothing other than teaching others that you will be pulled to do. Because you will not be able to stand to see people suffering meaninglessly, knowing that it can be changed if they would but believe in the love and cleanse their consciousness of all that is not that love. Now, I know that many of us suffer through life. I know how very difficult it can be. Jesus knew this. And when he came to the earth 2,000 years ago, his mission was to enlighten the minds of the people. The people who had so imbued themselves with religious dogma and were arrogant and were convinced that they were the chosen people of God, Jehovah, whom they ardently believed in but who did not exist. Their prophets spoke of their mystical perception of some transcendent spiritual consciousness, and they used imaginative language to describe God. They created mental images of greatness and grandeur, and they also produced the desired effect of controlling the people by fear of reprisals from heaven in the shape of personal loss, disease, deprivation, pests, and climactic disasters. When Jesus came to teach that you do all of these things to yourself, and it is not punishment from a God on high, but it is the law of magnetism, the law of cause and effect, but Jesus called it reaping and sowing. That whatever seeds you plant, you will harvest at some point in the future. And he tried to explain this to the people, and some of the people got it. They got it. They understood. And even some of the disciples, they kind of got it. They kind of understood. But upon Jesus' death, when he was no longer there to protect them, and the disciples have now been embroiled in fear, because they saw what just happened in Jesus, and they're fearing for their own lives now. So rather than report the truth, which they did not fully understand, of what Jesus was doing and what he was preaching, they flavored it with religious dogma so that it would be accepted by the people. Now this is still occurring, and the people do not know. They read the holy book and they think, well, if we just believe this and that, then I guess we're saved. When indeed they haven't understood a thing. And there has been no spiritual life that has been spoken to them from the pulpit, because indeed the person preaching from the pulpit, unless enlightened, which I highly doubt, has not seen and do not know the truth, and therefore they are going off of someone else's words in some book that they don't even fully understand. But when you have seen the truth, which you will see if you study the Christ letters, you will hear it, you will feel it, you will know it, and if you just test it out, you can even test it out for just a couple days, and you will see the proof. You will see the invisible proof become visible if you test it out. You will certainly feel much better, and through feeling much better, your vibration rises. And then, to follow suit, things in your environment, your reality, will begin to change. But until you test it out, and until you see it for yourself, and until you know that you are just listening to words. Now you're listening to my words. And so to seek to gain this for yourself is the highest thing that you could possibly do. And I'm going to tell you, from being a former drug addict and alcoholic 20 freaking years ago, there is nothing that can bring fulfillment other than the connection with the divine. And it will be all that you seek, and once you've tasted it, you will know that you know, and it will just make you even more motivated to spend even more time with the divine, to get to know the divine even more, and to spread the love throughout the world even more. But until you get to that point, the most wonderful thing that you could do is let go of something that is not that love. And if you were to do this every day, I mean, there's 365 days in a year, I think, isn't there? Something like that. I mean, if you were to do this every day, at some point, in the future, you will have rid yourself of all that it is not. And then you will find yourself enraptured in golden illuminated light inside of your brain, and you will know that you know. But if you do not take the steps to get there, then you will never be there. That's like saying, oh, I want to go to that place there, but you're not even walking down the path. You're not even headed in the right direction. Well, you can't get to your destination if you're not taking steps in the right direction. And so, all you need to do, and let me be very clear, baby steps. Baby steps to get there. Let go of something today. One thing that's detrimental, that's been harming you. Maybe you have some kind of belief about yourself that has been harming you and hurting you. Now, if this belief is not based in love, then it is not the truth. And I guarantee you, if it's harming you and hurting you, then it's not based in love. So maybe something like, I'm not a good person. Something like that. Come up with something that you need to let go of. Now, I'm not saying, it's some material possession or some kind of person, it might be, or some kind of whatever. What I'm saying is it will be a belief or a behavior that you are holding on to. And it's ego-based. It has no bearing once you're dead and gone. When you are at a soul level, it won't matter to you anymore. So think about all those things that aren't going to matter to you anymore when you return back to just soul level and you don't got your body anymore because you passed on. These are the things you need to let go of. If you're harboring resentment towards somebody else, if you feel like, oh, I'm hard done by, if you feel like you're a victim of something, if you whatever it is, all of these things upon your death will not matter, so get rid of them now, and you can free yourself now. And when you let go of something and you ask the divine to assist you in this way, you will get more and more comfortable with it, and you will see the results of it, and you will gain trust in the divine, which is really gaining trust in yourself and in your ability to believe in the divine and the real love that is there. But the more that you practice this and the more that you seek that connection with the divine, and this is all you say is, I want this connection to, like, divine. I need something. Give me some proof. Give me some proof that you exist. And then expect that you're going to get some, and you will get it. Divine, when I go to sleep tonight, give me a dream. Give me something. I need something. I need something. Whatever it is that you need, all you need to do is ask. And then all you need to do is believe and expect that you're going to get the clarity, that you're going to get the outcome, that you're going to get whatever it happens to be. Just expect it. Expect it. Without any doubt. Of course it's coming to me. I asked for it. And you can have that attitude. Of course, I asked. Of course it's coming to me. And as long as there's no beliefs that are standing in your way within you of, like, believing, okay, well, I asked for this thing, but I don't actually believe that I'm deserving of it. Well, if that's the case, you're not going to get it, darling, because it's going to override that other belief that it's going to come to you. So examine your mind before you fall asleep and look at all the fears that you have. Now, I'm not saying that you're afraid of the boogeyman, although you might be, sometimes. But what fears do you have? Because under every single negative belief, there's a fear. Even if it's a fear that I believe I'm not good enough, that is a fear. It's a fear that I'm not good enough. It's a fear that I might not be lovable. And fear is the opposite of love. And therefore, when you're putting any of your mental thought power into it, when you're using your mind and you're feeding the fear, when you're indulging in the fear, you are feeding that fear, and you will manifest more of it into your life. That is a fact. Let go of fears. They have availed you nothing. And as you let them go, then you invite all this extra space here to connect with the divine love that is everywhere, at every single moment, at every single second of every single day. It's always flowing to you all the time, constantly, always, 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 always. And it flows to you perfectly and in perfect love. And it is only the mind that decides to step in the way that says, I don't think so. And you might say, well, no, I don't have any love flowing to me. Well, that is because you have been sending out something other than that love, and it's being returned back to you. This is what you're witness to, is what you have sent out in the past. And so if you don't like it, then you need to change what's going on in the right now, because it's only in the right now that you manifest. So what is it that needs to change? Well, let's just start baby steps. Like I said, little baby steps. Let go of something today. What is it that you need to let go of? Some kind of belief, some kind of thought. How are you going to do that? Well, take yourself into a meditative state. Become aware of what it is that you need to let go of. Then you could do this little technique. Just imagine that fear is a certain color and it's living within your body somewhere. And as you imagine that color and where it's living in your body, then just imagine yourself draining it out. Let it go. Let it out of your body. And then as soon as it's drained out, feel what it feels like to not have it in your body. You will immediately feel a feeling of relief. Now, once you've got this feeling of relief, then you're going to invite divine consciousness to fill up that energy space within you with the truth, which is the divine love. And then you could imagine this brilliant, beautiful, bright white light coming in and filling up that part of your body where that old color used to be, and filling it up with its presence of beautiful love. Perfectly loved. And then just sit in it for a few moments. And then know and expect that you will feel different. And then when you do this every day and you let go of this thing today and that thing tomorrow and the next thing the next day and the next thing the next day, pretty soon a year's gone by and you've let go of 365 things. And not only do you feel lighter, but your reality has already changed. Things have already changed. It's already different. You already feel so much better. And it did not take a year, it took a day. And what you commit to will change your life. So if you want to commit yourself to watching TV shows that are completely meaningless and have them on your TV and spending your time just brain dead staring at this box every day, well, you've committed to that. You're at whatever frequency that TV is emitting at that moment. You're embroiled in it. You're in it. But if you want to commit to yourself that you are going to improve your life and that there's going to be some personal and spiritual growth that happens this year, then set aside 2 to 5 minutes every day. That's it. I mean, how much time do we spend watching TV? Hours? Half an hour? Hours and hours and hours? We will commit to that, but to ourselves and to our personal growth, we give minimal amounts. And why do we do this? The minimum amount. Well, sometimes we feel selfish. We're like, oh, I shouldn't take all this time to myself to devote to this personal growth, but yet we will sit there for hours watching TV. We will sit there for hours preparing or eating a meal or doing whatever it is, and we are just wasting our time when we could be doing something that's beneficial, because as you heal yourself, you're going to heal the people around you too. You're going to heal your environment. You're going to be a positive influence. You're going to uplift the people around you, and there's nothing more important than you could do than that. So commit to yourself. Commit, hey, I'm going to let go of something every single day, something little, something small, baby steps, and I'm going to give myself 2 to 5 minutes to do it every single day. And as you do that, note how different you feel. How did it feel when you let go of that thing the very first time? How did it feel when you let go of something different the day after that? How did it feel the next day after that when you let go of something else? How did your life begin to change? Take note. Keep a journal. Keep track so that you can see. And along this path of you letting go of things, ask the divine, I want you to give me proof that I'm doing the right thing. Every time I let go of something, every single day, I want proof that I should have let that thing go. Every single day, I want you to give me proof that I'm living in heaven, and then expect it, and you will get the proof. And your life will begin to rapidly change. There will be a realization that comes to you one day, and you will just think, oh, I think I get it now. I think I understand. Because you understand now, but you will get even deeper and truly understand it on such a deep level if you just keep seeking. And you will understand the vital importance of cleansing your mind of all that is not love. Because deeply, your soul is calling out to you, and it is begging you to love, to love, to love. So much more than you ever have. And ask yourself, could I feel worse? Could I feel worse than I do right now? And if it happens so that yes, you could feel worse, then send out a thankfulness for how wonderful it is that you feel. Send out a thankfulness that you're at where you're at. And if you could not feel any worse, then send out a thankfulness that it's not going to get worse and it's only going to get better from here. It is not by happenstance that you are listening and that you are still listening to this. There is a message in here for you, and it is to let go of something or someone or somewhere or someplace or something. But whatever it is that has been heavy and burdening you and weighing you down, you need to get it out. Off your chest, off your body, out of your energy system. And you can ask the divine consciousness to help you with it. And it will be happening the moment that you ask. This is what I have for you guys here today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love you all so much. Take care. Please like, share, subscribe, maybe even send this video to a friend. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much. Take care.